Call halal Yahweh, call halal Yahweh, call halal Yahweh. Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Akim wa Akhwatim. Shemaya Palal Yahweh. Soldier E. Hood of the Battle Axes of the Most High. Coming to you with another Fervent Friday. It's time to tap in with the Lord, right? Let's tap in with the Lord's word, man. His scriptures. I pray everybody's had a blessed week, right? Have been keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments to the best of your ability, right? We had a great week. Me and my rib had our ceremony, right? Most I blessed that. We had a great time. Those who made it, those who participated, those who helped out, those who gave alms, right? The water, Barakatah, Masapakia, right? So usually I give like a 2-minute window to give people the opportunity to start coming on in, right? Yeah, and then we had new moon that following day, right? We had a great new moon celebration. Went out to the park. Everybody enjoyed themselves. Nobody was hurt, playing sports or doing anything else, just having a good time. Had great food. Just really just praising the Most High and thanking him for a new year, right? Thanking him for a new year. So we are now in the month of Abib, right? So this is now a new year that we're going into. We do not celebrate the way that the Gregorian calendar works. Shalom, salute, King Asher, right? We do not celebrate these heathen days of celebration at all. If it ain't biblical, then to me it's just trivial. We don't deal with it, right? This week's class is going to be named We Are Hunted by Heathens. We, the nation of Israel, Negroes, Indigenous, Latinos, Native Americans, we are hunted by these heathens. They do not care for us, right? They do not care for us, right? Now, you may say, well, that was a while ago. How did they hunt us? Black Wall Street, right? Shalom, Yapa, Sharayah, Adiwa, my beautiful real, right? How did they hunt us? How did they hunt us, right? Well, as history tells you, they did so, right? A little bit of quick history. In Philadelphia, when they had like an actual movement going that was feeding children, making sure they wasn't drinking lead-filled water, things of that nature, they dropped dynamite on them from helicopters in Philadelphia, which is crazy. I have family members that remember those things, right? Also, Black Wall Street. When everybody went off to war, when we wasn't, able to go off to war, things of that nature, or return, our people thrived in Tulsa, right? As well as in parts of Florida. They strive. They actually was able to do for self. They were pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, as everybody told us to do. And what happened when Esau came home? Oh, he ain't like that. He ain't like that at all. So he burnt it. Right, quick history lesson. They used military tactics, surrounded it, blocked the entrances and exits with burning tires, had smoke going into the city. Those who tried to escape was, of course, actually laid down. You know how they were laid down, permanently laid down, right? As well as people that was returning from the military that stood on their front lawns, right? That served with some of these Edomites that were out here doing this. They stood in their front yard saluting with their military uniform or having rank over a lot of these people, shot dead in their uniform. They didn't care nothing about that. Nothing about that at all. We are hunted by heathens, right? We are hunted by heathens. So that's something to just think about, right? That's just something to think about. We're getting into the class, right? It's just a little bit of examples of past history of what they've done. We're going to bring up some present history in regards to what they've actually done to hunt our people, because a lot of times we go along because it's not affecting our doorstep immediately. It's not affecting us right now personally. So now it turns into, well, or I wish it would try me with that. Nah, you don't want the Most High to allow one of those left side spirits to do something like that. Test your might, right? We're going into the book of Lamentations to start this class out. The heathens hunt our steps, right? We're going into Lamentations, and we're going to start out in the chapter, we're going to start out in chapter 3, right? Chapter 3, verse 52. And as you come in, like, share, subscribe, hit that like button, help spread the word of the Most High to these four corners of the earth, right? It won't cost you a dime, right? Help spread the Most High word to the four corners of this earth, right? The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 52. It says, my enemies chased me sore like a bird without cause, right? Think about it, right? We had the whole thing down in Alabama. You saw that. There was 5-on-1, 6-on-1. They tried to chase him like a bird without a cause. What was out the cause? He asked them to move their boat. They couldn't move their boat. They decided they want to put hands and feet on the man. And well, we saw the outcome was to that, right? But our enemies have chased us sore like a bird without a cause. What's some of the other things they've chased us sore with, right? With propagandas, right? Telling our children that, versus being something that will help structure our nation or to help bring us back to law, statutes, and commandments, something that's going to take away from that, right? Oh, play basketball for us. Come to our school, play football, right? Don't worry about getting a doctrine in bioengineering. Don't worry about doing something that's going to help your community in regards to building structures or communities or architectural work, right? They chase us with all types of different philosophies, and they attack our children through social media as well as through different propagandas that while we at work every day, slaving, right? Guess what? They're chasing us like a bird, right? Without a cause. Hey, you ran that stop sign. You know what? I don't like what your child had on in school today. Hey, I don't like this and that. These heathens try to chase us like a bird, right? Just like a cat would chase a bird, is relentless on how we're chased down, right? Let me get a precept to this because it says, my enemies chase me sore like a bird without a cause. I don't know if y'all remember Tom and Jerry. Tom would chase Jerry to his heart beating out his chest for nothing. And Jerry just minding his business. Oh, here come Tom. It's like Esau. Here come Tom. He all over Jerry, right? Grab him, put him in a sandwich bread, sprinkle some salt and pepper on him, attacking. That's exactly how we're chased, without a cause. We have to be aware because a lot of times we're not praying. When you get up in the morning, you're on your Facebook. Oh, ha, 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 laughing, listening to music. You even acknowledge the Most High could have had you paralyzed to not even get out that bed, right? He could have put you into any kind of sleep, deep sleep to where you couldn't get up. But he allowed you to get up. He allows you to go in, your water's on, your electricity is on, right? He allows you to do that. Here's one of our enemies now, right? Here's one of our enemies now, right? Coming in with the foolishness. We're going over the Proverbs 6 and 5, right? Let's see how our enemies hunt our steps, right? Because Ishmael, the Ishmaelites, they hunt our steps, right? They'll say all of this, all of this, and all of that. But what do? They sit in our neighborhoods with these bodegas and different corner stores, and they serve our people trash. Here's your cigarettes, trash. Here's some Swisher Sweets, trash. You want to sell drugs outside the store, just give me some, trash, right? They hunt our steps, because when the police come, they don't say, hey, 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 here come the police come in the store. They don't do that, right? They don't say, hey, I'm going to give you the best meat. They don't do that. They don't care anything about that. They talk to our women any kind of way. They want them to dress provocative. Oh yeah, you can get a little credit, but there's a penalty that comes with that, where they may have to give up their body or sexual favor to the Ishmaelite. But then they'll say, may Allah peace in. No, that's foolishness, right? Let's go over to the precepts of Lamentations 3 and 52, Proverbs 6 and 5, right? And it says, deliver thyself. And we want to avoid the distraction, right? Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, right? Because we have to make sure we're not, you know what? I'm gonna jump up to verse 4. It says, give not sleep to thy eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. You gotta be like, they hate us to say we woke, right? They hate us to say that we're woke. We have to wake up and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. There is no other way. There is no other choice. It's not up for discussion. If you're realizing that your life isn't going the way it is, then you have to examine yourself spiritually. Am I praying enough? Am I fasting enough? Am I giving alms, right? Not monetary only, but alms through your thoughts, words, and deeds. These alms as well, the Most High is accepting all forms of alms payment, right? As long as it's righteous, not unrighteous. Make sure it's righteous, but don't be out here sleeping. I tell my children all the time, make sure you're paying attention. Make sure your head is on a spiritual swivel, because they will try to catch you slipping, right? And it says, deliver thyself as a roe from the hands of the hunter, right? As a bird from the hand of the fowler. So it's telling you to avoid disaster at all costs, because we are being hunted each and every day. We was talking about this at Camp 101 last night. When you get on these social medias, your Instagram, your TikTok, right? The first thing they're trying to do is trap your mind. They try to show these brothers, oh, I'm going to put these provocative dressed women up here doing X, Y, Z. You might be looking for shoes. They're going to show you a woman out there with her whole body exposed, but with the shoes on. You may be looking for a certain place to live. They're going to show you, hey, there's women that live in that area. Are you single? Hey, hot single women in the area. Same thing for women. They might be looking for a dress. They're going to show you a brother wearing the dress first, right? Then they're going to show you a provocative version. Oh, buy the dress from Temu. It's $1.97. All your curves going to be out, right? Your body's going to be given into the hand of the fowler. We are in the eyes of the hunter, because what? They teach our children, hey, don't worry about education. Worry about entertaining me. If you can entertain me, don't worry about the education. We'll give you something for it, right? That's the foolishness. We have to escape like a chase roe. When those roes, they're in the family of deer, right? And they're all drinking at the creek. Somebody can step on a dead leaf. Their hearing is great. As soon as they look up, they're gone. We have to escape those snares just like that. That's why I don't be on social media like that, because it's really nothing there for me at the end of the day. Because no matter, even if you're not subscribed to it, they're going to subscribe you to it anyway. They're going to find a way to get you in there, right? Because we have to understand, it's not just one thing. You look at one thing, next thing you know, you're on your Bible app. They got all the shoes up there. They got stuff we was looking at 2-3 weeks ago. I don't select the cookies, but guess what? They're going to put it on there anyway to try to distract you. Oh, hey, you know what? You trying to select a precept in your Bible app? Here's the Hibbits app. Here's the Nike app. Here's this, here's that. We know what you like. You selected cookies. We know how to try to distract you, right? We have to escape as a chase roe, as a bird. It's not easy to catch a bird, right? So we have to take flight from that, fly back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which is that perch, that safety tower, right? Psalms 35:7, right? Let's get it. It says, for without cause have they hid their net in a pit, right? They hid their net in a pit. They have the little leaves over the top. They got the net inside the pit. How do they get us with that? Oh, you can eat anything, right? Oh no, don't worry about that. They get us with with pastors from our own actual ethnicity. Pastor Porkchop gonna tell you it's okay to dress how you want because he's looking at your wife or your cousin or your sister on the front row. Oh, come on up to the front, sister. Let me pray for you. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Lusting with his eyes, right? They do these things. Great priest. I believe I have that one too. I'm gonna bring it out, right? They lay their nets, right? This is how they do it. They have it hidden. It's a booby trap. Soon as you decide you want to get on TikTok, guess what? Here comes all the foolishness. Soon as you go on Instagram and you put your profile picture up there, you may put a picture of you praying or reading your Bible. Here come people all in your DM. Hey, click my link. It's a sex link. Click this, click that. Foolishness, right? All types of things that entice our children, especially our young women. These things are something that they're attacking us with because the heathen hunt us, right? Con, Miss Ashland, they do be lying. They definitely be lying, right? Because they said without cause have they hid their net in the pit. Oh no, they got a cause with it. Their cause is to keep us in slavery and in sin. That's their cause, right? It says, without cause, they have digged for my soul, right? They're digging for our soul. So when you think you're in their sleep, guess what? Your children under the covers on social media, right? That's why if you're a parent at home, what you need to do is, if you know they're connected to the Wi-Fi at home, you turn off that Wi-Fi to all the devices of the children. Yeah, they can use their cell phone to call out or probably try to use their data, but guess what? Maybe they can't use that. You have the authority to do that. Letting them look at social media for too long, all that's doing is rot their brain. They skip television. And they know there's only so much TV. They put the TV on the phone. They say, okay, they're not going to let them watch TV, put the TV on the phone. That's how they like to go about doing it, right? And it says, they have digged for my soul. They try to dig for our soul by giving us all of these actual false narratives that keep us in sin. Come as you are. Hey, brother, I like to drink too. It's okay. But when he come into church drunk, right? Well, you know what? Give me a little bit of something extra. I'm going to pray for you. They'll get that drunk spirit up. No, he's not. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. It says, for without cause, they hid their net for me in a pit. This is how they do it. They put Pastor Porkchop in the neighborhood. There's 100 churches in the hood. And so, you know, you're in the hood. Churches, pawn shops, Popeyes, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. This is how you know when you're in the hood. When you start to see these things, you go out there in those rich areas, you do not see any of that stuff. Try and find me a Dollar Tree out there in where your homes are at least 500,000 or better. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find a liquor store. You may find Total Wines, right? They're going to make it look real nice for you. You're not going to find Popeyes or Wingstop. No. You're going to find Italian restaurants, right? Bristol's, Steakhouse, things that are more nicer, more expensive, right? Cheesecake, well, that's kind of borderline, but Cheesecake Factory, things of that nature. Let's keep going on to see how they dig the pit for our soul. 2 Kings 7:12, right? Let's go over to 2 Kings. Let's look at how there's strategies that they were using then that they're using now in a more intricate way, right? And like, share, subscribe as y'all come on in, right? What we're doing now is we're going over to 2 Kings 7:12, right? And it says, and the king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. So now the king is basically letting his servants know, hey, they hunting these heathen are hunting our steps. We're being hunted by these heathens. They're creating mischief. They want us in sin so they can take us back into captivity, right? It says the king arose in the night. and said unto the servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry. Therefore, they're going out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall snatch them alive and get into the city, right? That's what they're doing, lying in wait. This is a war strategy that the Syrians attempted to do to us, right? This is what they attempted to do, right? Hold on. Cut this a little bit, but that's what the Syrians said. We're going to hide in the field, right? We're going to wait for them to come out. We're going to snatch them up, right? Already with the kidnapping, already with the different methods of sneakiness, right? Because what do they do now? How do they come out and snatch us up? They tell your children, let's do a TikTok dance, right? Let's do a TikTok. Now your child can't read, right? Always plotting. Con, Aqua, Ashland. They're always plotting. Plot, plan, strategize, thinking groups. They use these things, right? They use an algorithm, right? They use the actual algorithms to try to attack, right? Let's go into Psalms 38 and 12, right? Because the Syrians thought they were slick. As soon as they come out, we know they're hungry, right? Think about that now. Guess what? We know she don't want to really work like that. She just had a baby. If we can get the man out of the house, we'll give her $750 in food stamps. It's just her and one child. We'll give her $8 rent. We'll give her some wick, right? You'll never have to work. Just don't have a man in the house, right? This is how they know you're hungry, right? But what are you hungry for? A gift ruins the heart. Remember that, brothers and sisters. A gift ruins the heart. Y'all out there, I'm going to sell my food stamps, right? And when y'all sell them, y'all not even getting equal value. Most of them put a spirit on you to where you think you're hooking somebody up, right? But you're not even getting equal value. Oh, you give me $50, I give you $100 in food stamps. That don't even make no damn sense. That don't even make no sense, bro. That the currency exchange in regards to that don't make no sense. You're gonna use these same food stamps, just like real money, but you're gonna take a 50% discount and you think you're hooking someone up. Nah, the Most High put a spirit of delusion on your mind. He's like, I give you something, but some people get them, some people don't, right? He said, I give you something and look what you do with it. Look what you do with it, right? Psalms 38 and 12, right? It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things. Think about that, right? That's how you do. Kobe, right in the trash can. Food gifts. You never know what they put in that food, man. It's the pilgrims all over again. Oh, yeah, we lost. Could we have some of your corn? Could we have some of your buffalo? We'll trade you this for some fur. You got smallpox and disease all on it, right? Nobody want no potato salad with raisins and walnuts in it, man, right? No, all these gifts and stuff like that. You want to, hey, come in there, cash me out. They ain't going to do that because they know you're going to take those funds and help your nation, right? So they're going to give you things that you don't need, things that might be tapped. Bring that statue in the house, might got a microphone in it. And that's how Esau likes to play it, right? It says, for they seek after my life. They lay snares for me. How do they lay some of these snares? They put them in the foods, right? Hot Cheetos, everything got something hot in it. What is that doing to your children at the end of the day? You see the color of your hands? Imagine what it's doing on the inside, right? It says, they seek after my life. They lay snares for me. They also seek my hurt. They speak mischievous things. Oh, yeah. Don't let the black people in your house. They're going to steal. Don't let the Latinos work on your car or cut your grass. They're going to steal, right? And, well, I mean, they got the Native Americans hidden so far off to where they're forgetting who they are. But they're still doing things to those men and women there, right? That's what they're doing. They speak mischievous things of us, right? They find a body. It's no foul play. That's mischievous. You know it's foul play because of the way it is, right? But if it was Sally from up the street, the soccer mom, then guess what? Hey, we're going to investigate this. We're going to bring the culprits, and they're going to keep it going. They're going to be walking at night. They're going door to door. They're making sure they find out. But guess what? For us, they don't have that kind of, it's not anything of importance to them, right? Go on Walmart, it's pictures all over the wall, right? And it says, imagine deceits all day long, right? What do they say, right? Oh, well, shut up and dribble. Oh, those women ain't going to be nothing anyway. We're going to just give them the hair, right? We're going to give that to them, right? These are the deceits that they imagine against us. We're going to keep putting these kind of images on there, sexual depriving images for our people of Israel. And that's foolishness, right? And as parents and guardians and people of wisdom, we should be looking at the actual cause and effect of these things. Oh, ha, 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 it's cute. They're doing a little TikTok. Oh, it's just a TikTok dance. Yeah, till you got some kind of pedo looking at your child, right? That's then now it's a problem once that comes to the light. But when it's not there, guess what? What are they doing? Let's also look at the precept for that 38 and 12, which is 35 and 20. And it says, Psalms 35 and 20, for they speak not peace, but devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. You could pass the SAT test. They had a girl in Florida. She passed it. The best score that they ever seen. Guess what? They made her take the test 3 times. 3 times. Oh, you couldn't have scored that high. You couldn't have did that. But nah, you couldn't have do that. When our people passed their little tests, oh, you couldn't have did that. You had to cheat. There's something wrong with this. They're going to make you do it over and over and over again. But let little waterhead Tyler do it. Oh, man, he comes from an prestige family, right? But for us, what do? It says they speak not peace, right? All those Negroes are the same. All those Latinos are coming and taking all the jobs. You mean the jobs that you gave applications for? You needed landscaping. You weren't going to do it. You need someone to build that house. You weren't going to do it, right? You were looking for cheap labor. They've actually learned how to work the system, make it work to their advantage. Now all of a sudden there's too many of them. Nah. The opportunity that you gave, the Most High put that on your spirit to give, to do these certain things. The Most High is in control of everything. If we look at it good or bad, the Most High is in charge of it, right? It says they speak deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land, right? Khan, shalom. Y'all like, share, subscribe as y'all come in. But I feel like I got to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze on doing this. Whew. Now, who are quiet in the land, right? Who's quiet in the land? A lot of our people are quiet, right? We have, especially those who want to be scholars, especially those who want to take their education to the next level. They're not trying to bother nobody. What do you call them? Nerds. They're not bothering nobody. They're in the library reading 4 or 5 hours, right? Why you got all those books? Why are you always trying to do this? Why are you always trying to do that, right? We shouldn't be tearing each other down. We shouldn't be saying, hey, what's in your bag? Let me look what's in your bag. There's books in there. They're caught walking home from school at night from the library. Where are you going? Let me see your ID. Just because you don't live in the best neighborhood. They know good and well that person ain't up to no kind of evilness. But what do? They devise deceitful matters against us, them that are quiet in the land, because we don't have a voice. We can go out there and protest till our face turn blue. We do not have a voice, right? Let me get this. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. We do not have a voice. We are the ones that are being quieted in the land because our voices are being quieted. When something happens, they're only going to talk about it, and then you're going to go to media blackout, right? There's only going to be so much information, then media blackout, right? That's how they try to suppress us. We do videos on the Bible, getting our people to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. What happens at that point? They try to block it or suppress it to where nobody sees it at all, right? That's what they like to do. And we know these heathens hunt our steps, and they're very meticulous in doing it. Let's go over to the book of Jeremiah, right? Let's go over to the book of Jeremiah and actually see, right? Because they did it in the past and they're doing it right now, right? Exactly. We always fit the description. But you know who we don't fit the description of, no matter how much we bring it out? The children of Israel. It's funny. We fit the description of everything else except our true heritage. When we go into the Bible and show them that we fit the curses, that this, that, everything how it lines up, guess what? At that point, oh no, you don't fit that description. No, that's not what you are, right? Jeremiah 18:22, right? And it says, let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, right? Green Corn Festival. If y'all remember the history of y'all can look it up. The Green Corn Festival. What do? Our Native American brothers and sisters, they sat down with the Edomites, allowed them to, and this is during what would be considered our Passover, the Green Corn Festival, right? They sat down with our people. They got them nice and drunk. Yeah, let's drink. Yeah, let's turn up. Party, party, party. As soon as people started going back to their houses, all right, I'm finna turn in. I done had enough. I'm good. Guess what they did? They had people laying in wait that wasn't drunk, that was mostly soldiers, and they attacked and killed those natives. They were burning down their homes. They were burning down their homes, right? They were destroying. If a man came out the house to defend his house, bomb, they laid him down, right? They laid him down. And what did they do? Burn the women and children in the house. These were the ways of the heathens that hunted our steps. They wanted that land. It's been that way since they were exiled from the countries for doing lewd and lascivious acts over there. People was tired of having their sheeps violated, right? Because they got to be wise, because they got the algorithm watching, right? Having their sheeps and animals and livestock violated. Who's doing that kind of foolishness? The heathen. The heathen. They're doing that. They do it to this day, right? And they think it's funny, like that show Jackass. They do all types of lewd and lascivious. They show you who they is. They've made millions of dollars off of showing you this is exactly who we are. This is it. Fear factor. You're going to eat this bull testicle and this. Who's eating that kind of stuff, man? Not the people of our nation. Not the people of our nation. They came out that way. They woke up like that, right? And it says, go back. It says, let a cry be heard from their houses when they shall bring a troop suddenly. They brought those soldiers, right? They brought those soldiers in. They brought a troop, right? Same thing that happened to Gad, right? They brought a troop. Okay, where's my notes? Here we go. Wounded Knee Massacre, right? The Wounded Knee Massacre happened on December 29th, 1890. It was a slaughter of 500 Lakota Indians by a U.S. troop, right? They just came in, attacked, and this was an atrocity. They don't want our people to talk about that. They don't want their people to talk about it. They locked them away. This was the truth, right? That was brought in. The Bible is undefeated, right? The Bible is undefeated. That troop suddenly came in, right? And it says, thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me and hid their snares for my feet. This is all they do, is try to entrap us. This is it. They gave us the whole Puff Daddy distraction. But guess what? What were they over there doing? Right? Passing laws, taking away rights, giving rights to people that we have no idea about, creating treaties with countries they were going to break, taking us further into debt, further into war, right? Why they lay snares at our feet. Oh yeah, we can make 101 Puff Daddy videos. Ha 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 ha. Right? But you got to understand that they're getting ready for a situation. We're gonna go up on the price of food, right? Oh yeah, the eclipse is coming. You watch that. Everybody saw it. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw how quick gas jumped up right before the eclipse, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you seen how quick you saw gas was at, like, let's say maybe 305 or something like that. Then right before that eclipse was supposed to happen, that gas jumped to 345. Jumped up to 40 cents in like a day, just out of nowhere, right? 40 cents. You like, man, gas is almost $2.99. Now it's $3.50. And it's up there because guess what? The eclipse is coming, y'all. You go in the grocery stores, get a big bag of chips, right? Usually that's like $6. Shalom, Aqua, Netta, as well as Daniela, right? Big bag of chips, $6. No, you know how much it was? $2. They giving you all this food because they like, hey, guess what? If something does jump off and y'all come tear our store up, at least we made the money off of the product and got it out of here, so that way we're not going to really lose anything in the long run. And the day after the eclipse happened, everything went back to regular price. You go in the grocery store, all those sales are done. All of them are done, ironically. But sales usually come on like, let's say, Wednesday and last to the next Wednesday, or Tuesday and last to the next Tuesday. Not this week. They're playing that little shell game with us, right? They're playing with us in regards to it. But they bring those troops against us all the time. When you get that knock at the door, do you want to vote? Are you a resident in the area? Careful, they're stealing your information. They're stealing your signature to go do foolishness, right? They're doing these things. They're bringing that troop upon us suddenly, right? To take that, and guess what? Another one, right? The wounded, not just the Wounded Knee massacre, right? That Gad was attacked in when they brought a troop against them, right? The Bear River massacre of 1863, right? With the northwestern tribe of the Shoshone Nation, right? 600 dead, men, women, and children, right? That was the Bear River massacre. They were snowed in. They were out looking for food and provisions and things of that nature. Snow came upon them. They got snowed in, right? So when they got snowed in, the troops realized that and said, hey, that's a lot of provisions down there they didn't gather, right? Both of these massacres were started over greed of Esau, right? Shalom, salute, Officer Barakai, right? It was started over greed of the native territory on their way to find gold, right? So we had Black Wall Street, we had Philadelphia, Mississippi burning, right? We had all of these different things, right? But guess what? The natives went through it as well. And they just kept it real quiet. But then guess what? They try to separate us by saying, these ain't the people. These ain't the people. Y'all not the people of the book, right? But we know who they are. The they that the scripture speaks of, it says, when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they, because we hear they in every scripture, they have digged a pit to take me. The heathens hunt us, right? And laid snares for my feet. They want something that's going to keep, hey, let's keep giving the actual males of Latino and Negro descent, let's keep giving them these rappers that's going to go out here and shoot and spin the block and kill their community and sell drugs and impregnate the women and leave the women and do that. Let's keep giving them that, right? These are the snares for our feet, because guess what? They know that you're going to end up dead or in jail. And they're okay with that because they own the record labels and the private prisons. So it's cool for them. It don't matter. They own both of them, right? But we're going to go over from this Jeremiah 8:22, right? And go to Hosea 6:9. And we're going to get who the they are, right? Because we know who the they are. We know, right? But let's explain, in case this is somebody that this is the first time they're actually hearing this, right? Hosea 6:9, the U.S. troops, right, verse Gad, right? It says, and as troops of robbers wait for a man, so the company of priests murder in the way by consent, for they commit lewdness, right? This troop that's actually waiting, right? These troops of robbers, because when they come in, they're stealing everything. They're stealing the children. They're stealing the women. They're stealing your life. They're stealing your nationality, your heritage, right? They're stealing all of these things from you and leaving you bare. They're going to kill the elders off. They're going to kill the strong, right? They're going to kill off the women who are fertile, right? They're going to take the children you just had, the sucklings, the ones that are growing that will actually be next up to actually provide for their nation being led righteously, and they're laying that snare for them, or they're just eliminating them. There is no type of abortion clinic in the heathen neighborhoods. I'm telling you, you can't go in the area where Elam is, right? The so-called East Indians. You can't go anywhere in their neighborhood and find an East Indian abortion clinic. You ain't gonna find a Moabite abortion clinic, nor a Amorite abortion clinic, or anything, right? They may have a fertility center out in those areas because they know that a lot of those nations, the Most High, have bearing the wombs of their women. So now they try to go get a woman of Latino or Negro or Native American descent that womb isn't barren, and then try to put their filthy child off in them and create foolishness, right? And the women, a lot of times, they don't use the wisdom. Oh, well, it's going to have that pretty hair like Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. No. All you're doing is bringing a child that's not going to respect you, and that's going to revert back to her culture once she's old enough to understand, and you're going to be excommunicated from her. You just don't realize it yet, right? You just don't realize it yet. That troops of robbers, right? When they bring the UN into your country, right? They call them the blue helmets. When they bring them in, they have so many different war crimes against them. It's not being brought up in tribunes, right? It's not being trot up. They in there taking the women, taking the children, violating them, leaving them broken, spiritually, mentally, physically, right? They have no regards for it. But again, we are putting our trust in people that can't do anything for us, right? I'm going to go into something else while we over here talking about the situation with Gad, right? That was brought to my attention this week. I'm not sure. I've never seen this show before. I've seen the advertisements for it. I guess the show is called like 1927 or something like that. But the guy's name is Cole Brings Plenty. So you know he's already of a Native American heritage, right? He was of the Ogallala Lakota tribe, right? One of the largest Native American tribes in America, right? And one of his trademarks, he had long hair, braided hair, because with the Gad and Reubenites, they believe that their strength and power comes from their hair. Now, I wonder where they get that from, right? Maybe they don't cut their hair, right? They understand some of the actual intelligence of what the Nazarite vow was doing. Now, do they do the other things that the Nazarite vow asked them to do? We don't know, because they don't let us onto that private property, which is their plantation / reservation. So they have reservations to be stuck on a plantation where they endorse the men to overindulge in alcohol and the women to basically be in situations that are unpresenting, right? But they don't cut their hair, especially the men. That is a badge of honor, no different than we let our beards grow, right? We don't shave our heads bald. They don't do that, right? They said the authorities found him because he was found dead at 27, right? They said the authorities have not described the nature of the death. Now, he's a television star, but they're not going to tell you how they found him. But the Cheyenne River Sioux Indians are demanding a full, thorough investigation because they know that these heathens hunt our steps. They know good and well that they're not going to figure out that it was an Edomite, most likely, right, that did this. It's always foul play, but it's fair to them. But guess what? When Yahushua come back with that sword, it's gonna be equal playing ground. Because they ain't gonna be able to run and hide at that point. The blood of our people are crying out from the ground, man. It's crying out. The Most High hears it. Don't worry, it's not gonna go under here, right? But this is the crazy part of the story. His hair was cut without his consent shortly before he disappeared at a concert. Now, look, they tell us not to be dealing with him, but the picture in the concert showed an Edomite cutting his hair from the back. He's like, oh, get off me. But she was cutting his hair because it allegedly got caught up in a microphone cord. Mic cords run the ground. This man's hair wasn't on the ground. It was long enough to be probably maybe to his belly button, but it was long braids. That was his trademark, right? That was part of his heritage, right? But they show an Edomite woman in the picture cutting his hair, and he was telling her, stop, get off me. But what is she back there doing? Trying to take his heritage. They were doing the scalping, right? That's the foolishness that they try to do. But there was no foul play, like they always say, right? But this is the crazier part than that. They found him in the woods, right? Last year, August 8th of 2023, his sister, Kyla Mercy Red Bear, right? Both found it in a wooded area. Both found it with their tribal hair cut. And now all of a sudden, people are of the Native American heritage, Gad and Reuben, they're coming forward like, hey, you know what? We want some answers. This is some foolishness. You done killed two of our people, a brother and a sister, the same way, just found them all just mysteriously, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, found them mysteriously out in the woods, ain't no foul play. But all these stories that they have giving leads show that these people were just thrown out there like trash, man. And these Native American tribes are being silenced to where they're asking for the help. They're going to the Attorney General, right? But guess what? They're sending in the state troopers, right? They're sending in their troop to suppress the matter. Hey, here's some money for you, so you're lost. It's never going to bring back somebody that was basically degraded in a national way. How you got a picture of the woman cutting the hair at a concert, him saying stop, but somebody was there just in magic time and say, oh, let me take a picture of this. And it was a fat, big back, pork belly Edomite that was doing it. And she looked like she couldn't give no cares in the world about cutting his hair, trying to deprive him of his heritage, right? They lay in wait, they hunt our steps, right? Their troops are robbers. They probably kept their hair as a trophy. They kept it as a trophy. They're not going to put it in their hair like our people foolishly do, but they're going to basically keep that hair as a trophy. No different than they cut the horns or antlers off a deer or a buck, right? He was mad in the picture, but you know what? You know how those concerts go. Probably had something to drink. They probably done in the drink one time. Now he's feeling a little woozy. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, let's get him. Oh, it's something. A microphone cord is attached to his hair. Like, that makes no sense. How does the mic cord even get that high up to be where she was at? She was trying to just like how you would cut the antlers off of a buck, right? That's how she was doing him. That's how she was doing him. They found him with his hair cut, just thrown away. He would never cut it. And it's funny that they have a witness account that his hair was removed without his permission, without his discretion, against his will by some mysterious, unidentified, fatback Edomite. Yes, trust me, she was a fatback, right? She had him overtaken. He was more on the slim matter. She was more on, they looked like a number 10 standing next to one another. That's how out of shape she was, right? But guess what they do, right? Guess what they do. Boy, I tell you, here we go. Here come the heathens. Here come the heathens. He got the Captain Planet in there. It's the African god of fire. Come on, man, cut it out. We're going to the next precept. There is no African god of fire, right? It isn't one. As y'all can barely get y'all God to give y'all 27 cents a day and get all the flies off the baby face. For 27 cents a day, you could feed one of these heathens, right? This is another money grab. But let's keep going on, right? Let's keep going on because it's describing who these people are, right? Exactly. Of course, it's going to take you a long time to post it, right? And then curse you, the curse for black people. The curses is for the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those who are given the promises, right? So those curses are for our people because Deuteronomy 28 tells us if we do not do this, this is going to happen. This is how we know without a doubt who we are based on that, sis. When you read Deuteronomy 28, 15 all the way down to 68, read those curses and look at the indigenous Latinos, the Native Americans, and the so-called Negroes, right? Look at what our people are going through in the past, the present, and what they're trying to make us go through in the future. And you'll see how we fit those actual descriptions first, right? Because we are the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the ones that's given the promise. But 119 and 85 of Psalm says, right? Because it says they first, right? Show they, the troops, right? So it's giving a very light description. It's letting us know, but if you're using spiritual discernment, you actually can add these things up. Ayanda Bar, Shalom, Aqua, Genesis, and Tawada for that beautiful cake and cupcakes that you provided for the ceremony. They were delicious, man. Let's read it. The book of Psalms, 119:85. The proud have digged pits for me, which are not after thy law. Let's think about that. The proud have digged nets. So we got they, right? Because they love to say they. My dad used to hate that word when I used the word they. They dig nets. Dig. Because if we go out there, we can't lay no traps for Esau. Because they're going to catch you, round you up, you're out of there. You can barely feed your own people in your community. It's against the law to feed the homeless, right? It's against the law to catch rainwater. It's so many laws that are out there, right? But it's just the proud have dig nets. Now, who the Proud Boys, right? They told you who they was. Who has the Pride movement? They tell you who they are, right? It says the proud have dig nets. They have all this pride. They're going to do it in your face. They don't care if you see it. They're like, what are you going to do about it? Like just described as you come in, we're going to show you what we're going to do about it. We're going to spread the word of the Most High, right? It says the proud have dig pits for me, which are not after thy law. Who doesn't keep the laws of the Most High? The heathens, right? The heathens do not keep the laws of the Most High, right? Let me get something. The heathens do not keep the laws of the Most High. You know why? They don't fear the Most High, right? Let's jump over just a quick sidebar just to prove, right? Because it said right here, which are not after thy law, right? The proud, which are not after thy law. So let's keep it, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how the heathens cannot keep the laws of the Most High, right? We go to 2nd Ezra, right? 2nd Ezra 3 and 36 in the Apocrypha. And it reads, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 36, right? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Not the heathen. The heathens can't keep it, right? The heathens can't keep it. I'm going to read that again in the Apocrypha, right? 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 36, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to jump up to 35 to get a little context. It says, or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name has kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Not the heathen. Not the scheming heathen. You know why? Because they don't fear the Most High, right? That's the reason why. They don't fear it because he's not their he's not their God, right? Let's get more proof on that. Psalms 55 and 19, right? It says, God shall hear and afflict him, even he that abideth of old, Salah, because they have no changes. Therefore, Slakia, they fear not God. They don't fear the Most High. The heathens don't fear him. They're going to keep going on. They can't keep the law. They don't fear the Most High. They have never called on the Most High's name. And when they do it, it's in vain, right? Get one more burden of proof, right? Psalm 79 and 6, right? I know it's a little sidebar off, but we'll still get it, right? Psalm 79 and 6, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. They never knew the Lord, but they swear that they do. Oh, yes, I believe in Jesus. That's a lie. That's a lie. They don't keep those commandments, right? It says, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. They have not called upon thy name. Not the heathens. They don't call upon the name of the Most High. They don't acknowledge him at all. So that's the reason why, at the end of the day, they hunt our steps, because they know who we are. They know exactly that we're the children of the Most High, right? And if you want to precept that 119 and 85, you can precept it with Psalms 140 and 5, which is saying the same thing. We're not going to go into that, right? So we got the troops, right? We got the they. We know who the proud is, right? Let's see. Know who the proud is. Right? Hold up. See if I had another precept that I wanted to use or not. Nope, we're going on to the next phase of the class, right? Going on to the next phase, right? We got the they, we got the proud, we got the troops. We're going to keep going, right? Khan, that's a great chapter in Second Ezra, because it shows that the heathens didn't ever acknowledge. It didn't acknowledge. They don't acknowledge. They don't care. They'll get on here. They'll talk about Allah. They'll talk about Buddha. They'll say this. They'll say that. They'll scoff, right? But guess what? At the end of the day, they're not scoffing us. They're not scoffing the chat. They're trying to scoff the Most High because they don't respect him. They've never called on his name. They like to play these games. They like to play these schematics, right? So let's go on over to Lamentations 4 and 18, right? So let's really go deep dive into this now, right? Lamentations 4 and 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. So when we have people outside, right? And then all of a sudden, like in Chicago, just out of nowhere, it's just a massacre happens over every holiday weekend, right? They showed law enforcement using those, fake rubber masks like Miss Doubtfire used in those movies, like Big Mama House, all of them. They have the mask that looks like the old man, a black man, a Moabite man, an African man, but they put those masks on that look like Negro faces. They put a hoodie on, right, with it. And then they'll spin the block and just shoot up places. And they'll keep that perpetual hate going in our communities. And then they'll just show up and just, you never find, but you'll see the shell casings. It'd be like 200 shots fired. 200 shots? 200, that's a lot of shooting to get 200 shots off, right? Shalom, salute, Akim Abraham, man. They get 200 shots off. No witnesses, no suspects, like 40, 50 people hit. And it's happening over and over and over. So it's normalized now. People don't even think about that stuff anymore in Chicago. It's normalized because this is what the heathens are doing, right? They're poisoning our food. They're poisoning our water. But the worst off, they're poisoning our mind, right? They're telling us you're not who the Bible says, right? We wrote that book. No. And then when you prove to them that they don't have the much control, then it turns into something else, right? But they hunt our steps, right? That we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled. Our end is come, right? This is what our people feel like because they know that no matter what, you go in the store, they following you on the camera, they got somebody walking around. Me and my rib was looking for things in the dollar store, like different little decorational type scenarios, just something to place on the tables, right? There was an Edomite in there, an older dude, walking around, hands in his pockets, just walking around the whole store. Now, I peeped him earlier because he came on the road that we was on. I said, hey, come on, babe, because me and her have a little, she knows when I use certain phrases and words, she knows exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? And if I'm just like, all right, we're going to move around, especially if we was looking at something, having a good time, laughing or something like that, and I'm like, all right, we're moving around. She knows by my tone, okay, what am I? Oh, okay, I see this dude standing over there. Now, mind you, I don't know how you looking at stuff in the store with your hands in your pocket, but his hands in his pocket. The whole time you're in the store. We go on the next row, he come over there by us. We stop so he can pass us, he stop a little bit in front of us. He ain't touching nothing, hands in his pocket. And we already realized, I said, you know what, babe, let's just go. We already got what we need and stuff like that. Clearly, this dude is either undercover or he's going to get himself hurt trying to think that, hey, I'm going to turn my back and he's going to probably try and abduct you or some shit like that. Because guess what? That's what these heathens do. Where do you think all the missing people come from? Where do you think they find a lot of the missing people at? Con, GMO, everything. Yep, that's what they're paying the scientists to do. We're going to give you a fruit that's mixed together. It's going to have watermelon, but it's going to have the texture of a lemon. They're playing with what the Most High said, hey, don't do that. And even if they put non-GMO in the can, do you really trust Esau? Do you really trust him? At the end of the day, to think he's not going to put GMO stuff in there anyway? You try to buy a 100% cotton shirt, you look on the other side of the tag that says 100% cotton, 3% polyester, 2% nylon. So they really didn't be honest with you, right? We got to be careful because they hunt our steps. We can't even go on our streets. Our kids can't go anywhere without being followed, harassed, abducted, kidnapped, violated. They're hunting our steps. It's out of control, right? Let's go to Psalms 56:6, right? Which is the precept for that Lamentations 4:18. This is what they're doing, right? And it's told us over and over. It tells us not to slumber, as we read earlier. We have to make sure that we're escaping like a chase roe, like a bird. We have to make sure we're already ready to move when we need to move, right? It says, Psalm 56:6, here go to there again, because we know exactly what they're talking about. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul, right? Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger, cast down the people, O God, right? David had to pray that. It was marking his enemies, those filthy Philistines. They knew how many bodies David had and got. You think they forgot about the little dowry that David gave to Saul when he asked for I think 100 or 500. It was a ridiculous amount of foreskin from the Philistines, right? You think they forgot about that? Oh, they was after David for that. You think these heathens ain't forgot about what was done to them in war when they came against us, the way they had sore defeat, right? This is why they chase us sore like a bird without a cause, because they want their get back. They're like, yeah, I know you're not David. We know you're not Joshua. We know you're not the mighty men of the Bible, but we're going to chase you out of cause. Hey, you want to get out here and preach on the street? Guess what? You can't stand on this side of we've been standing there for 10 years bringing out this truth, right? Now all of a sudden, Oh, you can't stand over there. You got to stand right here like this, and they can't stand. So the people can't listen. Or they're in the walkway. How are they going to listen if they're walking by and they stop? But they try to come up with all types of different scenarios. That's why it says they gather themselves together. What are we going to do about these Israelites? They're waking up. They're coming back to their laws. What are we going to do to stop them? They're emptying our churches out. We can't get the money off the tithes. We can't keep them in sin. What are we going to do? Right? It says they gather themselves together with their little council meetings, right? Their little private conversations. They hide themselves. They're sitting in unmarked cars with tinted windows, taking pictures, recording, listening through your phone, right? They mark my steps. They watch your the way you go to work, the way you come home. They watch your routine, right? They follow you like a private eye. This is what they do. They say, well, he goes to the Sabbath on every Saturday. So we know that they're not home. We can go in their house and put listening devices. This is what they used to do to us back then. Now they already have them in the house sometimes. Now they already have somebody living next to you that's already working for them. They try to make it easier, right? I mean, look, they'll have law enforcement. Your house could be an issue, right? Law enforcement are going to come look in your house, flash a flashlight in your house. You come out like, hey, what's going on? They're ready to let it go. But they're already violating your civil rights. They're violating your actual, oh, well, guess what? We really don't own anything. So they're going to try and play it however they want to play it. You think they don't know that we don't own it? They know the bank owns it because guess what? The bank owns the pipes under your house. They own the land that your house sits on. They own these things that they have buried in the ground, right? Shalom, Lamar, right? They own these things. So when it's time and you don't pay them taxes, they come and take it, right? But let's get the they, because there's a lot of they talk. They hunt our steps. They gather in council. They do this. They do that. Let's get the they, right? Let's go over to Psalms 83, verse 3, right? They, right? Well, matter of fact, let's jump up to verse 2. For lo, thy enemies, right? This is who the they is. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, a angry gathering, right? Like January the 6th, right? They make a tumult, and they that hate thee, right? They that hate thee. You're telling us our enemies are the they, right? They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel, right? Because what did it say they did in 56 and 6? They gathered together in councils, right? Trust me, they listen on your phone. Me and Jerubbaal done had conversation. We talking about shoes or anything, right? Next thing you know, you get off the phone, it's on your phone. It's on your feed for YouTube. It's on your feed for your Gmail, right? It's there. They do that, right? Yeah, exactly. They know hey, guess what? We're going to stand as bold as lions, right? Says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And they said, and they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? They want to cut us off as a nation. If I can get her to get 5,000 views and 500 likes a day to go on there and twerk, right? If I can get him to get 10,000 views a day or 1,000 actually views, right? To wear a woman's dress and a wig and act like you're feminine with a beard on. They're coming up with ways to keep us from being a nation of kings and priests, right? What's that? It's just comical. It's always funny to a heathen because we've already went over. Y'all don't know who God is. Y'all never called on God. Y'all can't serve God. Y'all can't keep the actual commandments. So it's comical to a heathen, right? But it says they've taken crafty counsel against our people. This is why it's crafty counsel to them. Because when they get exposed, they laugh nervously. That's exactly what they do. They laugh nervously in regards to it. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Let's call them out. Who are the they? The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called red-skinned Caucasian, Caucasus Mountain resident, right? The Ishmaelites, right? Down there at the bodega, Mr. Never, Never, Never. Oh, I want to make it the Aki way. Crafty counsel, right? It says Moab, right? Hurry up and buy. Buy the hair. Hurry up and buy, right? Ammon, the same way. You want the sushi? You want to go to the Benaniyah, right? And it says Amalek. You know who Amalek, excuse me, Slakia, I jumped over. Hagarenes, come over to Big T, right? You want to put on the bootleg Jordans? There you go. Gucci belts right there on the counter. When you go to Dillard's, you got bulletproof glass with those, right? Muhammad wasn't. Y'all Quran even says he wasn't. He was a milky color, right? Man, boy, I tell you, he was illiterate as well. But hey, I guess you can't teach a old dog new things. Gebal, more Hamites, right? Ammon, right? Amalek, the Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. All of these was, right? Amalek, we know who Amalek is. He down there digging tunnels with baby clothes and bloods in it, right? These are the heathens. These are the they, right? These are the they that we're looking for. They took the Crafty counsel. They own a record label and a private prison, right? You go in the store, you're buying hair shaved from one of the heads, right? Most likely Elam or Ishmael, right? You're attaching it to your head as a woman, right? Now you take on those spirits that was on that woman. That woman could have been out of control, didn't have a husband. It was just out there loud, mouth and boisterous. Our women put that stuff in their head. What did they become? They start to put it in our children's head. What do those little girls become? Right? They can, little 7, 6, 5-year-old can sing a whole Keisha Cole What About Love song, but when you ask them to read Cat in the Hat, now it's crickets. It's foolishness, man. We have to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. These heathens, they hunt our steps. They told us the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Hagarenes, Jerubbaal, Gebal, Shalaki, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, inhabitants of Tyre, right? They have all, right? They've all joined together like a UN, right? Like United Nations. They came together for one goal and one purpose only, to keep the Native Americans, indigenous Latinos, and so-called Negroes, right? So these titles that I refer to, they're not who we are, right? They're not who we are. We're the northern and southern kingdom. We're the children of Israel. We're the seed of Jacob, the seed of Isaac, Abraham. We're through that lineage, right? But guess what? We fit the description of criminals and everything else, but we never fit the description of our heritage. Why is that? Why is this a game for them? Why are we not more upset about that than being upset because you can't log on to your social media? You upset about that, but you're not upset that they're calling you 3/5 of a human. That's not even a real equation, right? Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep getting more into who they are, right? Because we had them called out by name, but we're going to keep going, right? Let's go over to Exodus 1 and 10. It says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, right? Least they multiply. And it comes to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out the land. They already had counsel on us when we was in so-called Egypt, right? Which is the land of bondage, right? Every man his household came with Jacob, right? Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, right? Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, right? Which was also the 12 tribes. They all came in. They came from the loins of Jacob. They know who we are. That's why it says right here again, let's read it again. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. We don't doubt we multiply, right? Think these little whimsical sayings came from nowhere. They knew what it was. He said, be fruitful and multiply. That's one of the commandments. They knew what our commandments was. It's going to be a whole bunch of them real soon. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, right, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. They're concerned for themselves, right? And it says, so get them up out of the land. Now, all of a sudden, they want to get the 12 tribes up out of there, right? Now they want to get us out of there. Now it's a problem, right? Because this is the they. This is the traits of a they, right? When the scriptures go into a they. We're going over to Psalm 71, right? We got to know who else, right? Because look, what was they doing right there, right? Let's expose what they were doing. 71 and 10 of Psalms. It says, for my enemies speak against me. What was they doing? Let us deal with them wisely. Let's take crafty counsel. They're doing it to this day. Let's come out with doctrines to combat what the Israelites are saying. We don't want them to get their people back in order, right? This is what they're doing. For my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, right? Saying God has forsaken him because we got him in sin. We got him smoking weed. We got her out here popping pills, shaking her butt. We got the children being disobedient to their parents, right? For views, right? It says, saying God has forsaken them. Persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him, right? It shows when it said, let us deal wisely with them. They lay in wait for our soul. How do they do it? They just told you right there. So why are we going to play like we don't know what's going on, right? Y'all always worried about a fire alarm, right? But guess what? Y'all never worry about the scriptures, right? They never worry about the scriptures. When they're getting cut, now all of a sudden, get you a 9-volt battery. Got a 9-volt battery, right? A lot of times you don't get how Esau plays the game. You can put a brand new 9-volt battery from the store in there, that thing still keeps beeping. But no, you come onto the page to scoff. You call yourself a king. King of what? King of foolishness. It says, for my enemies speak against me. Get a 9-volt battery, he says, right? They lay wait for my soul. They take counsel together. Let me try to interrupt the class with foolishness that has nothing to do with the Lord. Would you interrupt the Most High while he was speaking? No, because your mouth wouldn't work. You try to interrupt Yahweh Shai, you probably lose your head, right? Saying God has forsaken him, right? Persecute him and take him, for there's none to deliver him. Why are we not speaking out against that, right? Why are we not speaking, Lamar? Why are we not speaking about those crafty counsels brought against our people? Why are you not talking about them wanting to take actuality of why they want to take slavery out of the Bible, out of the history books? Why they've hidden most of the atrocities done to the Latino indigenous as well to the Native Americans? Why? Right? The reason why they've done these scenarios, right? The reason why they've done these scenarios is for the simple fact they're only here for their own preference. They could care less if you, 2/3 got to go to hell. And guess what? They don't want to be lonely down there, right? Because this is Esau's heaven right now. He can live deliciously. We're going to the zoo today. I'm not going to work. Hey, Bob, I'm not coming in. Me and the kids are going to the zoo. Hey, buddy, have a good time. Let you call and say, hey, somebody passed away in my family, immediate family, or my child sick in the hospital. They're going to tell you, right? You better come on into work or you ain't going to have a job, right? They're going to show that. Well, I guess when y'all start posting some of the truth in here, they start saying the messages are inappropriate and they start blocking certain things, right? But it's all right, because they lay wait for our soul, not just mine. They lay wait for all of our soul, right? They lay wait for it, right? But maybe King Super's fire alarm won't go off in the middle of the night, right? With a brand new 9-volt battery. And then let's see if you call on the Lord at that point to have mercy on you. See how much of a king you are then, right? Because this is the thing what they do. They sit in the chat, they watch the classes, and they say, hey, you know what? He's making a good point right now. Let me come and interrupt it with some foolishness, right? So it says here in Psalms 10 and 8, he sitteth in lurking places of the village, right? In secret places do he murder the innocent, right? Secret places, he murders the innocent. While they're sitting in their skyscrapers, in their big old country club resorts, trying to figure out how can we get these Israelites off the street? How can we get them out of here, right? They're trying to set murder in their heart, just like they did at Wounded Knee, just like they did at Black Wall Street, right? Just like the conquistadors did when they showed up with the actual clergymen, showing a picture of Caesar Borgia. If you do not worship him, we're going to do this. If y'all decide y'all want to help y'all people, we're going to do this. Last week, I just did a class on vows. When you sign that NBA contract, you can't help anybody without us seeing where the money going, right? You can't help this. You can't do that. You can buy your mom a Mercedes all you want. You can buy her a house all you want, but you cannot go back to the community of which you came from and build a park or a recreation center unless we say so. Yeah, we know you got the money, but we own the land. We're going to tell you no on the permits. Your agent's going to say, I don't think that's a good investment. We can do that down the line. Try and get some more people to come in, right? Yeah, that's SIBO, right? Wanted his sister so bad he had to kill her after he was done with her, right? But it says here in Psalms 10 and 8, he sitteth in lurking places of the villages, right? How does he sit in a lurking place? The camera on your phone is how he sits there. The microphone on your phone is how he sits in that lurking place. The traffic cameras, all of these snares, they show you in the movie how they watch people like ants, right? They sit in their secret places, right? How they used to sit in the van with the headphones on and all the monitors and listen to the conversations when the Black Panthers was saying, hey, how are we going to get the lead out the pipes? How are we going to feed the children? You know what I'm saying? How are we going to get their reading levels up? Being better counters, being more accountable for themselves to be better citizens in their own communities, since we're not allowed to go into theirs. How can we make our area better, right? That's when they started to lay wait. They started to infiltrate, sending in heathens, power to the people, heathens into congregations, right? What can we do to be free? I'm tired of them. Suppression. Oppression makes the wise man mad, right? You know what we do to be free? We keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because at the end of the day, if we're not keeping them, then you basically are helping the opposition, right? Trust me. It's a human show type of free man. Exactly. Because think about it. They will free you from a plantation. But then what they don't tell you when you get out there, they tell you how to read your whole freedom papers, right? But when you get out there by a slave catcher and he goes, what you doing out here, boy? Right? Well, master say I'm free. He gave me these papers. You can read, boy? Now, you got to use discernment, because if you say you can read, guess what? It's against the law to be able to read for a black man, right? So at the end of the day, They know what they're doing. They're taking the crafty counsel. They're not going to take you back to a slave. They'll take you to another slave, right? It said, never notice the Latin brown skin lion is king. Well, it's foolishness because I just said indigenous, Latino, Native American, and Negroes like 50 times. They love to hear themselves speak, right? But this is how they sit in lurking places. This is how they wait to murder the innocent, right? Because what they're doing is, if I can teach their males of Latino, indigenous, Latino, Native American, and Negroes to hate one another, then they'll never have a brotherhood. They'll never get their freedom. They'll never even think about coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? Keep on going. It says here, his eyes are privately set against the poor, right? We are the poor. Isaiah 14 tells you, right? Isaiah 14 tells you who the poor is, right? His eyes are set against the poor. We are the poor, right? Let's get the proof. Isaiah 14:32. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord has founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. If you want to get more precepts for poor, you can jump over to 11:4, right? It says, but the righteous, and this is Isaiah 11:4, but the righteousness shall he judge the poor, right? And reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. Remember it said the silent, right? Or those that were quiet, that Esau likes to hunt, right? It says the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked, right? He's going to do these things. But guess what? Scoffers can't see that far into having understanding because they're walking around blind, groping that new day, right? Creating so much, right? Creating so much, right? Foolishness and folly. We have to make sure that we're doing what we need to do for our people, right? Because guess what? Any of us can come up missing. Any of us can get found in the woods or a location somewhere, and they're going to mark it. Your neck could be cut. You could have a noose around your neck. You could be violated all kind of ways. Swastikas cut into your body, right? You can have hateful slurs cut into your body, found with your eyes gouged out, right? I know that's kind of graphic, but this is how they leave our people. They try to destroy them to ensure that they send a message. And what does the actual troops do? Oh, there's no foul play here. It just seems like a regular old, he just died of natural causes. And that's natural, right? To be scalped, thrown into the wilderness, that's natural, right? Let's keep going on, right? Psalms 37:32. And it reads, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seek to slay him. Because they think about it. You think they don't watch our videos, right? Come on, pork-filled foods, right? Blind foods, come on, they do it all the time. We got Passover and unleavened bread coming up. How much baking soda have they added to simple things that we utilize that wasn't there last year? I'll wait. I will wait. They put it in the waters. They put it in, if they can put it in tap water, they probably put it in tap water. They try to do as much as they can to make it difficult for you to keep the laws of the Most High, right? They put it in toothpaste. Come on. Y'all put the 11 items in the chat, right? Put the 11 items in the chat that you know that's 11, right? It's helped people that if this is their first time coming up, learning about their Passover, learning about unleavened bread, let's put some of the things in the chat that will actually have these 11 agents in them that can be detrimental, right? That can be detrimental to us keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? Because they watch the righteousness. They watch those classes. Oh, man, he just went into unleavened bread in the class. He just went into all of this. Now we got to add that. Now we got to give it a more scientific name. Now we got to add more letters to it. We got to make it 22 letters long. but it just means baking soda, right? That's what the wicked do. They watches the righteous to seek to slay him, right? Yep. We'll be putting it in the chat. Yeah. Damn near everything, right? They do this for a reason, right? And it's okay because guess what? We need to fast. We need to pray. We need to give alms, thoughts, words, and deeds, not just monetary, right? We need to put those three things together and add them together because this is how you give the correct alms to the Most High. Your thoughts, your words, your deeds, your actions. We want to make sure that we're fasting, praying, giving alms, lamenting, right? Our situations to cry out to the Lord to destroy our enemies, right? To actually do the same thing he did for us when we came out of Egypt, when he brought us into the promised land. He destroyed everything around us and in front of us, kept us safe as possible, right? For his own will, right? For his own, that was for his own enjoyment, right? But now they have it in everything. Let's get the precept for that. The wicked watches the righteous to seek to slay him, right? Proverbs 24:15. Lay not wait, O wicked man, right? As we know who the wicked is, we're going to get the proof on that. It says, lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. That's what they do. They spoil your resting place. They spoil the resting place, right? We're going to come in. Hey, you bought the battery from the store? Let's put it in the smoke alarm, right? 2 weeks later, it's still beeping. Why is there cords connected to the back of the smoke alarm? Oh, I don't know why that's in there, right? I don't know why that's in there. But now all of a sudden, a brand new battery, you can put a brand new battery in, and it's just still beeping. And just one smoke alarm throughout the whole house, just always beeping, right? Just letting you know, hey, we hear what you're saying, nigga. We know what you're doing, right? They try to do these psych out things that, that's going to interrupt their sleep. They don't understand, boy. Our people, the so-called Negroes, Indigenous, Latinos, and Native Americans, we know how to tune a lot of stuff out. We know how to definitely do it. Come on. Put them in the chat. If you put them leavening agents in the chat, yep, Jello, right? Leaven in it, right? Breads, leaven in it. Like Captain Benaniyah said, you better eat your lettuce burger. For real. That's how you're going to want to do it. Go to McDonald's, well, if you go there, or go to Chick-fil-A or anywhere, instead of getting a chicken sandwich, get a chicken sandwich with no bun. If that's what you want to have, or just cook for what you have. Make the unleavened bread. Sisters, learn how to make the unleavened bread. My rib has gotten a lot better. Every year, that unleavened bread get better and better. Can't keep the kids out the kitchen. Can't keep the children out the kitchen. Salaki, they're not kids, they're not baby goats, right? Because it's now become completely delicious. They begging for the unleavened bread. All praises, right? Come on. We all try to stay away from fast food, but you got to think about it like this, right? Unless you are cutting your food down yourself, right? Processing your meat yourself, or you're watching them do it right there in front of your face. Every food has a process to it. Every food is some kind of fast. Now, if quick and ready food, I get it. I completely understand. We're not going to even play those kind of games, right? But everything they put in a box and can put on the shelf is fast food. You just didn't see how fast they made it because they got a machine in a factory doing it. The box coming down the assembly line, macaroni coming there, drop the cheese in there, close the box up, glue on it, it's gone, right? But when's the last time they cleaned those machines, bro? When the last time they cleaned those machines, because they're trying to get the workers out. They rather have a machine. When the last time something that's not supposed to be in there is in there? A rat falls in there. You don't think there's rats in factories? We got to be wise, right? It don't matter even if you're eating vegan food, the vegetables at night, what you think they spraying chemtrails in the sky for? You think that stuff don't trickle down? When the last time you seen dew in the morning? I haven't seen dew in the morning in a while, right? Because guess what? They're going to do these scenarios. They're going to try and come out with some kind of way to get to whatever you think you're going to do. You know why? The scriptures just told us why, right? Proverbs 24:15. Lay not wait, oh wicked man. Let's get wicked, man. Let's see who the wicked is, bro. If you're new to this and you're just now learning that you are Israelite, you're about to learn who the wicked are, right? We're going to get the wicked for you. And you want to write this down if you're new to finding out that you are Israelite, right? It's hard to find morning dew, right? It's hard to find that kind of stuff when you go out. I don't see it. Now, maybe it's not in the area that I'm in, but when you're taking the children to school early in the morning and it's cold outside, where's the dew on the ground? Because they done sprayed so much foolishness in the air that it's killing. They use their genetically modified organisms, their GMOs, they spray it down. So if you got any kind of anything that's growing, they try to spray it on that, man. They're hoping that when you open the door to your house, and let's say you may have the stuff growing in your house, that whiff of air that comes in is getting over those plants somehow, some way, and trying to kill them, right? Let's get the wicked. Malachi 1 and 4, where Edom has said, we know who Edom is, right? We know who Edom is. The triple C boys, I like to call them, right? The Kufi Capt Caucasians. The Kufi Capt Caucasians. That's the nation of Edom at the top, right? It says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Shalom, shalom, right? Shalom. Not for you, but I work outside. Okay, well, all praises. If you do see dew in the morning, but like I said, certain areas, or maybe at certain times, the dew's already gone. Who knows? But a lot of people don't see it anymore, right? How it was when we were growing up as kids. You go outside, you see the dew, the ground looked like it was glowing, like it had a little mist on it, right? Had a little mist on it, right? But nowadays, all that stuff has changed because they spraying so much stuff in the sky. They know exactly what they're doing, right? Good to cook for yourself, right? We want to try and cut down on sodium, things that's going to create inflammatory scenarios for our people as we get older, right? Because guess what? Edom said we're impoverished, but we're going to return and build desolate places. That's the proud that we were talking about earlier. When we go back, right? And we look at, who's the proud? Who's hunting our steps, right? Who's marking our steps? These are the proud. These are the proud nations say, yeah, you can destroy it with Hiroshima. We're going to come back and build it. You can destroy us, but we're going to build a Dubai. Everyone wants to come to Dubai, right? Everyone's going to want to come to Dubai, right? I'm trying to stay away from McDonald's myself. I'm trying to stay away from it, right? See here. Go outside doing yeah. But like I said, not everywhere has it. Not as in abundance how it was. Now see, I'm from Florida, right? So when I would go outside in the morning, even to go to work or going to school, it would look like a little misty haze over the grass. And then as the sun started to come up more, you could see the wetness of the grass. Shalom salute, Officer Yakov, right? You don't see it as in abundance as how it used to be because now they're using fake grass in a sense. They're putting down a little manufactured grass. You see what I'm saying? That may not even hold a dew on it. You're starting to see more dead bees on the ground, right? And we use honey for so much different things. That's why you got the raw honey or you got that little Walmart in the bear honey, right? You already know when you want that honey with the honeycomb in it, you might get a small little case, but it's like $20-some. Get a big old little bear for the $3. How much, you know what I'm saying? What are we getting here, right? This is that border of wickedness, right? That's going to tell you got 100% cotton shirt, but it got 2% polyester, 3% nylon, and some spandex in there, right? That's what they're going to do, right? Our people got high blood pressure because we stress to death and there's sodium and everything, right? We are stressed to high blood pressure, right? The pressure that they putting on our bloodline is high. That's something we gotta think about. The pressure that they're putting on our bloodline is high. They want you to work more, right? Yeah, okay, in Oklahoma. All right, but okay, shout out Wolf. You know, we do that Wolf thing over here, Tribe of Benjamin, yeah. But we have to look at who the board of the wickedness was, because it's if these heathens hunt our steps, right? What is it? Takes everything except the mosquitoes too. Now they out here I call them spotted mosquitoes. They call them the mosquito eaters. But it's crazy. In Florida, they showed a picture of what they call mosquito eaters out here in Texas. And they were calling them genetically modified mosquitoes. Were supposed to mate with the mosquitoes in Florida, right? Which were they were black, little dark little black mosquitoes that used to be right on you eating. Now you got like a Terminator 20 version of the mosquitoes. They connected together. They're all kind of abomination. And they're supposed to be eating the mosquitoes. Really, they supposed to be eating the mosquitoes? Nah, y'all just unleashed another plague, Esau, that's going to backfire on you. That's, Jose, I was talking about, man, you can't wear mixed fabric. Why do you think, right? Why do you think we don't own any textile mills? Because they don't want us making our things 100%. Come on, man, Terminator. Yeah, they Terminator. Because if you look at an average size of what a mosquito looks like, and then these things that they have out here in Texas that looks like a spider mixed with a mosquito, right? The thing is almost 20 times the size of an average size mosquito. So yes, I call them the Terminator mosquitoes, bro. That's what I'm gonna call them. But we're gonna keep going, right? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna get proof to show, right, what the wicked was doing and how the wicked was infiltrating our own people and basically had their mindsets going on to where they were doing things that we would call coonish, right? Matthews 12 and 14, right? Matthews 12 and 14. And it says, then the Pharisees went out and held a counsel against him how they might destroy him. But when Yahushua knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all, because they were plotting on a way to actually kill the Most High, right? Because in verse 13 it says, then said he to the man, stretch forth thy hand, and he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other. The Most High gave Yahushua the ability to heal, right? He healed that man's hand. The Pharisees saw it, and they went out. They saw, hey man, you know what? Guess what? Let me top you over here. They had that counsel on how they might destroy Christ, right? Yes, the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is God's people. That's a good observation, right? Let's go back. Let's get a precept on that. Pharisees went out, right? So they figure out how they're going to take that counsel on how they could destroy Christ, right? Because that's what they wanted to do. And we have our own people of Negro, Latino, and Native American descent scoffing against the word of the Most High, either in the streets where a lot of our brothers go out to teach and put their lives on the line, or online. When they're doing that, they're taking that crafty counsel. They're showing how they might try to destroy the class, but you can't destroy what the Most High has already put in motion, right? They love to scoff, right? That's what, for the hearing impaired, I'm gonna read it one more time, Shalakia, because clearly people can't hear when we read stuff, right? Matthew 12 and 14 from the top. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him, how they might do it. It might rain today. The Lord might take your life, right? Does it say it happened or they did it? No, because the Most High was the one that had Christ put on the cross to die for our sins, to go through that, right? So that goes without saying, right? We have to pay attention to context of how words are utilized, right? They thought on counsel on how they might destroy him, right? This ain't the place to make fun of people, man, right? This is the place to be edified and basically allow the word of the Most High to try and come into your temple if you are of the indigenous, Latino, Native American, or so-called Negroes, right? They had an actual meeting. They took a crafty counsel, as I went over in some of the other, like Lamentations 4:18. They hunt our steps so we can't go in the streets. They mark our steps, right? They are taking crafty counsel, Psalms 83:3, against our people. Exodus 1:10, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. These are the crafty counsels, right? Right? They lay wait for our soul. They take counsel together, like Psalms 71:10, right? Psalms 10:8. They sit in lurking places of the villages, in secret places though they murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. We are the poor, right? It's like Psalms 37:32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. So what I was doing was getting an example on how wickedness, right? Because 2/3 of our people are not going to make it. Wickedness, which was in the Pharisees at that time, right? They basically plotted, had a little secret meeting after watching him heal somebody's hand that was pretty much in peril, right? They called it being lame. It was something wrong with his hands, like a handicap or disability. And Most High said, stretch it forward. Yahweh said, stretch it forward. And by the grace and power of the Most High, when he stretched it forward, having that faith that it would be healed, the Most High healed it through the actions of Yahweh, right? That's how that happened. Now, let's go back to Proverbs 12:6. And it says, but the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, right? So we have to think about it, right? Tell me that all black people channel. Only reason I asked about okay. So it says the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, right? But the mouth of the upright shall deliver him. So what these Pharisees were doing was operating in wickedness. They wanted to see how they might destroy him, right? But it says the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood. So they were waiting in blood. That's why it says in Psalms 37:32, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seek to slay them. So they try to figure it out, right? They try to, hold on. Yahweh Shai. Yeah, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai is on his way back, right? And if you are the indigenous, Latino, Native American, so-called Negro, you better get your life in order. Because we went over how the heathen nations, we went over who the heathen nations was, right? Put them in the chat if you remember who the heathen nations was. The so-called Moabites, which are the Chinese, right? The Amorites, which are the Japanese, right? We know who Amalek is. The Coaster Kufi Capt congregation, right? That own everything, right? We know who they is. We know who these heathen nations are, who hunt our steps, who owns everything, the banks, the actual buildings, the car company. Yet the Philistines, Hamites, right? When you go to your flea markets and you can say, hey, brother, they're not going to give you a brotherly price. They're not going to give you a brotherly price. Just because you have melanated skin like them, don't mean we're the same people. We have to understand that, right? It says the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them, right? It says the wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand, right? Because we have to make sure we're operating in righteousness, because the wicked is going to get overthrown. Those Pharisees that tried to plot on taking Christ out were overthrown, right? When Saul sent those watchers down there to try and get David, they started to be a part of, okay, we're going to go down there and we're going to preach the word just like they doing it. And then the next set of people he sent down there, they started preaching the word. Saul like, well, I got to go down there myself. What did the Most High do? He put a spirit on Saul that had him basically come out of his clothes or express his where it says nakedness, which was his sin that he had on him. And he started prophesying the word of the Most High. You cannot, no matter what you try to do against the Most High's anointed, it does not work, right? It will not work, right? Let's go. We're going to keep going. The Pharisees went out. They had their counsel. They wanted to destroy him, right? We read here the words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood. The mouth of the upright shall deliver them, right? Let's go to John 8 and 40. John 8 and 40, right? And it reads, but now, and this is all red letter, but now ye seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of the Most High. This did not Abraham, right? So it says here, but now ye seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham, right? And it says, ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God, right? This right here, when he explained to them, when you go up to verse 39, it says, they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. It says, but now ye seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. He's saying Abraham didn't tell you this. I told you that, right? I told you that. We're not doing that. It's the will of the Most High what's going on in the Gaza. He has to basically exterminate those that don't need to be on his land, that are basically given the spirit of delusion to keep fighting and to keep until they eliminate one another, right? That's how that works. I just don't get it. There will never be a ceasefire over there. They're going to keep going until there's nothing, till everything is completely leveled out, right? Y'all people going to keep buying the weapons, right? They're going to keep making the weapons. Y'all going to keep buying them. And guess what? Y'all going to keep using them on one another. And then it going to never stop over there, right? Because that's the will of the Lord. Y'all can pray for those areas, but guess what? Those people need to come and confess who the actual children of Israel is, right? Free Levi, the nation of Levi, right? Over there, they got their hands all over there, stealing the children, stealing the gold, right? Keep going. Galatians 4 and 16, right? It says, because Christ told them, right? He says, but now ye seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, right? Get a precept for that. Galatians 4:16, and it says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth, right? Christ was telling the truth, but yet they wanted to plot on him to kill him, right? And let me get Amos 5, right? They wanted to plot on him to kill him, right? Amos 5. And it reads, it says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. What was Christ doing? He was rebuking in the gate, right? They abhorred him that speaketh uprightly. Christ was speaking uprightly. And he said in John 8:40, but now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. So then guess what happened? Christ became their enemy because he told him the truth. Then it says they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They were getting rebuked, so now they started to hate Christ. They wanted to destroy him and get him out of there. That's what they're trying to do, right? They abhor him that speaketh uprightly, that speaks righteously, right? Because Stephan, when we go into Acts 7 and 51, right? I'm going to get right to the point on that. Stephan was basically being held, right? He was arrested for doing the word of the Most High. He was full of faith and power, did great miracles and wonders in the face of the Most High, right? God, right? Go to Acts 7:51, right? And Stephan got arrested. So basically, he was speaking on his own behalf. And he was saying right here, it says, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, you do always resist the Holy Ghost, as your fathers did, so do ye. He was speaking to the Pharisees in regards to them rejecting the Holy Ghost, which is the word, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? It says, which the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which shewed before of the coming of the just one. He's talking about Yahushua, right? Of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. He was cutting them with the history, and then towards the end, we was reaching this climax in regards to holding his peace and basically saying, all right, that's it. He says, when they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. So they was really upset. I can't believe he said that to me, this, that, whatever. I'm not a betrayer. I'm not a this and that, because they know what they did. They were called out on it, right? And it says, but he being full of the Holy Ghost, Stephan was full of the Holy Ghost, right? Looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High, and Yahushua standing on the right hand of God, right? And if you want to get the precept for that, it's in 2nd Ezra 15:22, with Yahushua standing on the right hand of the Most High. And verse 56 said, behold, I see the heavens open, right? Matthew 3:16, right? It says, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. So everybody came running up with the rocks, like how they do out there in Gaza. They see the tank, they out there running with rocks. And then guess what? They turn into dust, just like a finger snap, right? And it says, and cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at the young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephan, calling upon God and saying, Hamashiach Yahushua, or Adawan Yahushua, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Adawan, lay not sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. So he said the same thing that Christ said before he gave up the ghost. Forgive them, for they know not what they're doing, right? And that's a righteous thing to pray that even in your last breath for your people who look at you as an enemy, because 2/3 of our people are not going to make it. A lot of them are influenced by the ways of the heathens in the world, right? Let's get this. Psalms 59:3. All right. Psalms 59:3. And it reads, for lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me. These are the heathen nations we named earlier, right? In 83 Psalms. Not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Await to help me, and behold, right? This is when David was praying for deliverance from his enemies, because they were coming upon him, not for him transgressing the law, not for him being in sin, right? But they were waiting, they were lying in wait, because we are hunted by the heathens, right? We are hunted by them. Our enemies chase us sore like a bird without a cause, right? Pull you over for no reason, your tail light out, knowing good and well the tail light wouldn't out, right? Deliver thyself from the hand of the hunter. So you got to deliver yourself. How do you do that? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? It says, for what other cause they've hid their net in the pit? They don't have a cause for doing it. The Most High made them to be the evil of the earth that they are. They are the border of wickedness. They're going to be the most excellent point of wickedness, right? And it says, we know that they be hungry, therefore they're gone out of the camp. Hide yourselves in the field, saying, when they come out the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. These are tactics that they used against our Native American brothers, our indigenous Latinos, as well as our people, right? To infiltrate, to get in, to get inside, and to destroy from within, right? They always seeking after our life, right? They speak not peace. They devise deceitful matters against our people. When they bring that troop suddenly against us, they're always looking to bring a troop. When our people go out there and try in peaceful protest, which the Most High tells us not to do, what do? They bring out the SWAT. They bring out the people with the shields and the batons. The people just walking. And they said, we're going to stop them from walking and marching. But guess what? When we was downtown last week, well, they had a whole Palestine march. Big flags. Almost had me late to camp. Because they're just out there blocking up the road, dancing and playing and stuff in the street. Let our people try to do that. And guess what? They had a police escort. Just all around Dallas with it, right? All around Dallas with it. But allow our people to do that. No, it ain't going now. We can't give you a permit for that. Oh, it's going to interrupt too much traffic. We can't do that, right? It says the proud have dig pits for us, right? They keep our people homeless. How do they do that? By making sure that their prejudice and their actual racism affects our educational, financial, right, developmental, our communities, our mental and physical, to actually keep us in the situation, right? That's a simple question. I can like to argue for that, right? They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. All right, we go into our streets to do something. What happens if there's somebody outside hurt, or the paramedics, you come outside to look, get back in your house, or if the police accidentally discharge their weapon by mistake on purpose, get back in the house. Don't take no pictures. Let me see your phone. Erase that. Why are you recording me? Right? They hunt your steps. They don't want you to have proof of their false deeds that they're doing. Right? They take crafty counsel against our people. They deal wisely with us. They don't want us to multiply. Oh, there's so many Latinos coming across the border, but y'all are let every other nationality of heathen come across the border. Here go 5,000. You go this and that. We can't put commercials on YouTube that say come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. But they can put that same subsidy commercial on every 5 minutes. How you want to see how you can get $6,500 in your bank account right now? And how is that not a scam? As soon as you get them people your information, boy, they're going to corrupt your bank account. They're going to corrupt things. You know that they're not, oh, it's a government this, and they don't want us to see it. How is that being played on YouTube? Each and every day. It's on that. I'm telling you, when you get done watching this, I guarantee you watch another video. You're going to, within 3 videos, you're going to see a subsidy, $6,500 in your bank account. You can pay bills, you can do this, you can do that. The government don't want you to know. It's a stimulus check. That's foolishness, right? They deal wisely with us, right? It says, let us lay wait. Let's take this counsel crafting together. Let's do that. Let's give them a PPP loan. We're going to make it easy for them to get it. And when they get it, because they're doing so bad in society, we're going to, we got them. We can lock them up and throw them in prison. Let's take their business. Let's take this from them, right? They sit in lurking places, their boardrooms, their high-rises, their country clubs, and they watch us, right? It says, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh a way to slay him, right? They do call you stupid for not getting the money. Yeah, you dumb. You got to figure this out. And what they use is their AI voice, right? Let's see, coping for bad decisions. They basically use an AI voice of a Negro, or they get a Latino on there, right? Take responsibility. And take responsibility for poisoning the earth, killing all the animals, poisoning the air, poisoning the water, right? Why they're endangered species? Because of the heathen nations going out there hunting them all. killing them all, destroying them all, putting stuff out there, destroying it. But guess what? It's all right. You're going to have to fix it all back. We already know, God. That's why they seek to kill us, because guess what? When we go out on the street, we tell them the truth based on what the Bible says, not our words. It's based on the Bible say, right? Who are they? We went into the who are they. That's the whole problem of you not listening. I went into it several times of who the they are, right? In Psalms 83, verse 3, I went into the who the they were, right? I went into it. But since you want to ask, right, let's expose them again, right? It says, for lo, my enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head. They have taken crafty counsel. Who? My enemies, right? The enemies of my people, right? It says, against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. So when you're saying that you're an Israelite, like Kyrie did, right? Or like Kanye did, right? And then they take your money because you can't say that. We can't let the world know that they're Israelites, because if we have to give them the reparations that we really owe them, our country would be bankrupt, right? That's why the Most High put the spirit on Putin for him to go into the Russian icon books where you can't find them anymore and show Christ was black. The disciples were black. The angels were black. The Bible was black except for these couple of people here, like Alexander the Great, right? Like Nicanor. Those people were shown who they were, right? Let's keep going, right? Because you're going to say, well, who are they? For they have consulted together one consent, and they confederate against thee. Who is the thee, right? Verse 6 tells us, the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man. Well, really, he's red because he's not white, right? The Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, right? Sub-Sahara slave trade, right? Y'all remember that? Moab, hurry up and buy our hair. Get out our store. Take our canine and feline for $9.99, right? The Hagarenes, right? Which are African tribes. They're going to call you Nakata. The Gebal, right? Ammon, right? Amalek, right? The Coaster Kufi congregation that owns all the actual networks, owns all the record labels, owns all the banks, owned all the slave ships that brought our people to and fro, right? Because guess what? They got to have receipts for everything. The tunnel diggers, right? It says, the Philistines whip the inhabitants of Tyre. This is your they, the heathens. This is your they. So if you didn't know who the they was, I just read it to you. All the heathen nations are the they, right? So take note in regards to that going forward, right? But again, when we go out here to teach the truth, we become everyone's enemy, right? It says in Galatians 4:6, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth, right? At the end of the day, you're not a spiritual being, because guess what? Can you phase through a door? No, you can't. If you're about to get hit by a car, can you just say, spirit? And the car go through you? No, you can't. That's foolishness. Again, you're red, you're not white. You're of the nation of Edom, right? Go out in the sun, but too long, the Most High shows you your true color, right? Y'all created that back in the 1800s to make blacks to look at something evil and to make you guys look at something pure, to try and cover up your tracks of atrocities. We know who you are, okay? We know who you are, okay? Right? We know that they hate us, that rebuke and negate when we go out to the street. Why y'all out here doing this? Why y'all out here teaching hate? They're upset that we rebuke us and negate. Get off them drugs. Stop selling your body, right? They want us to stop doing that so they can keep us in oppression, as the scripture tells us. Stephan was stoned for rebuking and negate, right? Right in front of Saul, which turned into Paul, right? So that's what they're doing. Hey, every vain word, right? It says they lie in wait for my soul, right? The mighty are gathered against me. That's these heathen nations, right? They gather together against us, right? Mr. MK, right? Mr. Land Shark. Foolish things, right? It's okay. You are a land shark. You slowly breathing your last breaths with your scoffing, right? Because last time I checked, a shark on land breathed his last breath, right? I don't think you are a heathen. I'm not a heathen because I'm one of the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? That's the problem. They've been on Judah 5 and 19 and 20. They've been new. Come on, huh? They've been new. They lie in wait for our soul. The mighty are gathered against our nation. Not for our transgressions, right? Not for our transgressions, nor for the sin. This is why we have to cry out to the Lord, man. In the battle axes, we say keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? We say keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So we always get a law, right? We always get a law. Let's get a law that helps us to separate ourselves from the heathens, right? When we like our food, the indigenous Latinos, Native Americans, so-called Negroes, we want our food well done. Why is that put on our mind by the Most High? Why is that put on our mind? Khan, all praise to the Most High, right? Let's get it. Leviticus 7 and 7 and 14. It says, for it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore, I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. We're not supposed to eat that blood, right? It says, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. So when Esau's like, I want it rare, medium well. So when you cut into it, all that blood dribble out. This is how you know that our people aren't your people. Okay, all right? Verse 15, and every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even, then shall he be clean. But if he washeth them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity, right? This is why our people are holy. We're separated from the transgressions. The Most High says, envy not your oppressors, not doing that. Oh, the steak don't taste right if you don't do it like this. You cooked it too long or this, that, whatever. Tell that to somebody that's hungry, that they're not going to want a well-done hamburger, right? Or a well-done steak, right? They're going to eat it regardless. Oh, you're going to make all the juices come out. No, because y'all want to eat that blood, man. The law of our people tells us not to consume anything with blood. That chicken needs to be cooked properly. You need to check on it and make sure all that blood comes out of it. You need to make sure you properly make sure your food don't have no blood in it, right? Here at the Battle Axes, we say keep the laws. I give y'all lawful class. Shalom salute to all the captains, officers, and soldiers that do class throughout the week. Captain Benaniyah on Sundays with a great Q&A. Captain Jerubbaal on Mondays. Officer Yakov on the Raw True Tuesdays. Warrior Wednesdays with Officer Benaniyah. Thursdays with Captain Yari, right? And he had a great class on what we need to eat, the foods and things we were given this week. And so did the other officers and captains. Great class going into it this week. And we're speaking on the eclipse and the things, right? As well on Friday morning, I do Fervent Friday. Then Friday evening, going into the Sabbath, we have the Powerful Soldiers, Razatak, as well as Donovan. Powerful Soldiers. They alternate their weeks. I believe this week is Soldier Razatak. So make sure y'all tune in this evening as well, right? It's a false assumption to believe that one worn down creation others. When you get done, Mr. Okay, just Google Esau have I hated. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Because I went into the scripture that says he had indignation against these people forever. But clearly you weren't listening because you're here to scoff, right? By skin tone. It's always about, no, it's not. No one said color, right? No one said color. We identify who y'all are, right? But with us, you have Negroes that are light-skinned all the way to dark-skinned. You have black Mexicans. You have black Puerto Ricans. But then you have light-skinned Mexicans. You have light-skinned Puerto Ricans. You have light-skinned blacks. You have light-skinned Haitians. It's not by color, it's by bloodline, right? But this is why it's a stumbling block unto the wicked. The righteous get it, but it's a stumbling block to the wicked, right? Bro, that smoke alarm that y'all hearing is the warning to you scoffers that you're going to be on that life support. Beep after beep after beep after beep until there's no more scoffing from you. Take that with you as you go, right? The water to all the Akim wa Akwatim that tuned in today. I pray that this is edifying to your soul, right? Of course, every week, no matter what class we do, no matter who's teaching, you will see sacrifices of fools being given by those who will come to scoff to show that these scriptures, they cut deep as a two-edged sword. Very, very, very powerful, right? Also, tomorrow we have Sabbath class. Please tune in. The captains have a great class coming in this week, right? Also, those who have given alms or any type of donations, do any type of donation portal or anything, the water for those things that the Most High has put upon your heart, right? Again, I am Soldier E. Hood, Banya Shirala, the Battle Axes of the Most High. This has been another Fervent Friday, right? I want to say Kwam Yasharala. I want to say Abanawa Yahweh, right? Call halal Abanawa Yahweh. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yasharala. Barakatah Masapakia, right? Barakatah Akim wa Akwatim Shemai. Yahweh Shemaya Palah, Yahweh. Khan. And with that, have a blessed day of preparation as we get ready for the Sabbath to come in. And with that, Barakatah, Yasharallah, Kwam Yasharallah.